So, today we are talking about King of Kings, the brand new animated cartoon about Jesus made by Angel Studios. First thing we're going to talk about is the cast, because I went to this movie and I saw it and I was kind of going into it blind, but take a look at this cast that's in it. We got a lot of Star Wars stars. So, first of all, Oscar Isaac plays Jesus. Then we got Mark Hamill, and we've also got Forrest Whitaker, who played Saw Gerrera in the recent Star Wars stuff. Yeah, so it's got a pretty solid cast. So that's who led this film. Another thing I will say is that this has been the biggest Bible-based movie or cartoon since The Prince of Egypt, whenever that came out. Let's see, 1998. So it's been over 25 years. It's been over 25 years since The Prince of Egypt, the last, honestly, really good cartoon based off of the Bible, which also had a crazy amount of very talented people working on it. So first off, that's just very impressive for something like this. Especially nowadays, where sometimes Bible things, Jesus things get a bad rap, but apparently not for this. So we're just gonna go into the numbers real quick. So we've got animated biblical epic The King of Kings surpasses Prince of Egypt with historic box office debut. So it does even better than Prince of Egypt, which is quite impressive. So Prince of Egypt, that's what it made, 14.5 million. The Star, I don't know what one that is. But yes, this one made a total of $19 million. $19 plus million for this movie, which is very, very impressive for what it is. Take a look at this. So it came in for this weekend as movie number 2. As you can see here, there's a Minecraft movie, and then there's King of Kings coming in right after it. And then here's Snow White, way down at 8 this weekend. You know what? We predicted that. It just keeps dropping and dropping and dropping every week that it's out. So this is the 4th weekend. It's now only down to single digits of millions. But King of Kings is up there with almost $20 million. This one has even more. So 19.3 million is what this one's saying. So that's more than what the Christian Post. So that's more than what the Christian Post said. The numbers tell us that it got all the way up to $19.3 million for its opening weekend. What else opened this weekend? We have Chosen Last Supper Part 3. Another Jesus relate. So that's, if you haven't heard of The Chosen, yeah, it's the show. It's the show, and they've been doing theatrical releases of it. So that came in at number 6. But for that, it's weird because they did The Chosen Last Supper Parts 1, 2, and 3. I think it might have been 3 weekends simultaneously. Yeah, so it's been releasing every week. So 3 weeks ago was part 1, 2 weeks ago, or last week was part 2, and then this weekend was part 3. But we're not talking about Chosen right now. We're talking about King of Kings. So it beat out all these movies as well for its opening debut. Anyways, that's impressive in terms of box office sales. Now, the movie itself. What did I think of it? Overall, I enjoyed it. For what it was, it did a very good job at what it was meant to do. So, what is that, you may ask? It's a kids movie. What they were trying to do is make a movie for kids to introduce them to who Jesus was, what he did, who he is, what people say he is, and that, yes, he was a historical person back in the day. And they do a very good job at it. As someone who's grown up throughout a Catholic school, I'm familiar with this guy. So a lot of this stuff is stuff is it's a very quick, brief overview, and they portray Jesus as the more so super kind, never wants to insult anyone type of Jesus, as opposed to like The Chosen, where I like the version of Jesus in The Chosen, because Jesus, at least in my mind, wasn't just this goody two shoes figure, like peace, love, and rock and roll man, like some hippie guru guy. He pissed people off. He pissed people off to the point where they crucified this dude. With The Chosen, they kind of show that, how he's got a little bit of sass isn't the right word. He's more of a badass in something like The Chosen, where he's kind of roasting these Pharisees or Sadducees, getting into trouble, doing things the way he knows how they're supposed to be done, instead of just following these rules that the Pharisees and Sadducees kind of added on top of God's word. So I like Chosen version of Jesus better than something like this, but I see why they do what they do, because it's for young kids. So I would say like preschoolers all the way to third grade would be the sweet spot for a movie like this, especially in something like a private school, like Catholic school, which is what I went through. And they would always show us the same kind of older cartoons of Jesus, but they were so very surface level and not done well. This was done very well. In terms of animation, they are on par with Disney. I was not expecting that, because who did this? Angel Studios. Angel Studios made this. What did I watch? 1 second. This was also made by Angel Studios, or produced by it. I don't know the technical terminology, but this was basically, so this is the Wingfeather Saga. At least to my knowledge, this was their first cartoon that they made, that Angel Studios has made, and that was in 2022, so 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. See, that's end of 2022, so 2023. So let's say 2 years ago. 2 years ago is when this came out, right? And I might show some clip to kind of show it.
This is my family. Tink loves to take risks. Stay away from the edge. And Laylee?
I'm going.
He's always up for adventure. But we're perfectly free. As long as we do exactly what the Fangs say.
And the cartoon, you can kind of see it here. It was more so stylistic, kind of more blocky, kind of more choppy, looks more painted as opposed to like a Disney cartoon nowadays. So for what it wasn't bad. I feel like they made those stylistic decisions for a reason, because they were trying to save money, because this was on a budget. All of Angel Studios was basically on a budget. And then this comes out, King of Kings, and it does some impressive animation work. It's not only trying to spread the word of Jesus and his message in this story, but I feel it's also a way to make a jab at Disney. One thing that Disney cartoons have always done is, at least recently, is they kind of pick something that they're focusing on in terms of technique that they use in animation, and focusing on that and showcasing, hey, look at us, look at what we can do. For Tangled, it was the hair. Animating hair in the past, so 20 years ago, was the most difficult thing in the world. Hair, capes, flowing clothing, that was a pain in the butt, dude. And this has that, you can definitely see, like the hair, it's perfect. Hair animation's perfect. Moana, focused on water animation, the waves, and how it kind of brought the ocean to life and all this. This movie, this scene where he's walking on water, they do the same thing. And there's like so many other examples of it. Just the lighting of it all, the smoothness of it all, the way it looked, the story flowed nicely. It was just a showcase of how far they've come. It surprised me because I went from this to seeing this, you know. I'll see if I can get a clip. I'll put a clip in there right now to kind of show you what I'm talking about.
There's something out there.
Don't be afraid.
This was a miracle to some, but a threat to others.
Why don't we just turn the people against him?
Open up my eyes and see, and I'm not only wishing, dreaming.
But bottom line is, I was impressed. I was impressed with how far Angel Studios has come from just 2.5 years ago to now, to being able to compete with Disney in a technical animation standpoint. Anyways, it kind of got sidetracked. We were talking about what it's good for. It's very good at introducing a kid to who Jesus is. I think it's a perfect movie for teachers to have, for young parents to have, to show their young kids. Because, yeah, growing up in school, yeah, we had different Jesus cartoons, but they were just not well done. This is very well done, and it gives you enough about Jesus and who he was and the miracles he performed to get the kids interested. A whole part of the thing is that this whole story is narrated by Charles Dickens. Like he's telling the story of Jesus to his kid right here. It's kind of jumping in and out of the story, and towards the end of the story of Jesus, you even see Charles Dickens and his son kind of weaved in, and they're in the story watching it happen. It's kind of cool, you know, it's a cool idea, and I think it will do a good job at getting kids interested in it. Another example of this is at the very beginning. It's very chaotic, it's very loud, it's very crazy, it's snappy, and I'm assuming this is to get the smaller kids' attention to zoom in on what they're watching, because they're used to all these crazy stimulant videos. Like, I don't know, is Cocomelon even still a thing? But just like quick cuts, so that the kids don't lose interest in it. So yeah, the beginning of it's chaotic. This kid's a little I don't want to call him a shithead, but he was being a little brat as Charles Dickens was trying to he was doing his stage production, and this kid and his stupid cat was messing everything up. So for me as an adult, I was like getting mad. I'm like, oh my god, if that was my kid, I'd be so angry. But I know why they did it. They did it for a reason, to kind of be like, hey kids, look at this, let's get your attention. And then, yeah, it perfectly weaves into the story, kind of jumps back in and out of the story of Jesus, and then it slows down as the movie's going on, and as the kids start focusing in and being like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool. And same thing happens with this kid. At first he's skeptical. He's never heard of Jesus, but he loves King Arthur and his knights and all this. And Charles Dickens tries to relate with him and say, oh, this guy's a king too. He's the king of kings, actually. And so that kind of gets him invested. But it takes a little bit for him to kind of get invested to who Jesus was. And then by the end of it, once Jesus is crucified, then the kid is all sad. So I think that will tie and closely reflect what will be going on in kids who watch this, like their heads. So it does a good job at what it's trying to do. A great job, actually. And it looks good. It looks smooth. I won't watch it again just because, okay, yeah, I see what it is. It's a great movie to put on to introduce a young kid. But yeah, overall, I see why it did well. I think it might even do well next weekend once people kind of know what this movie is now. Don't hold me to that because yeah, movies after their opening weekend, they bring in usually less money. But yeah, for me at least, my theater that I was in, it was packed. There was very little seats left in the room for us, which I was pleasantly surprised about. I was like, this is a Jesus movie. I didn't think people would come and kind of fill the seats, but they did. They did. So I was impressed, and there were a lot of young families, which was cool to see. And yeah, just the theater in general was packed because of the Minecraft movie. Actually, walking into this movie, it was there was a group of teenagers walking in right behind me, and the one dude had a full-on suit with a top hat. He was looking like the Monopoly Man, and they were all quoting Minecraft memes as they were walking in. I was like, oh my god, dude. The stranglehold Minecraft has on these teenagers is just insane. But good for Minecraft, and good for Kings of Kings. It was a good movie, and if you have a young kid, it's worth showing it to them. You know, it does well. It's a good movie. That's about all I have to say about it. If you guys love movies like I do, I developed a app called WatchList, the movie app. It's basically a Tinder swiping movie recommendation app where you can rate movies, save movies to your watch list, follow your friends, that sort of thing. So go and check that out if you have time. I would greatly appreciate it. Any feedback you have on it would help me since it's in its early stages. So other than that, that's all I have to say. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. So thank you. I'll see you guys next time.